What does it mean to say, I am? Is consciousness an accident of biology? Or is it the fabric of the universe? On Spinning the Light, we bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern inquiry. We're stripping away the illusions of the ego to find the radiant core of human existence. Join us, your hosts, Christy and Sharon, as we unravel the mysteries of the mind and illuminate the true nature of being. This is Spinning the Light.
Hello.
And welcome to Spinning the Light podcast. I'm Christy.
I am Sharon. Wow. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Memorial Day. I don't know. Is it really Happy Memorial Day? I don't think it's really that, but we do want to take a moment to acknowledge and remember and show gratitude for those who have served in our military and who had that ultimate sacrifice. We really do have immense gratitude for all of the service that you did and for your families and just everything that goes into that. So anyway, we'll start with that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So what we're talking about today,
Gotta love it.
the resonance. What makes something resonate with us? And what does it even mean for something to resonate with you? So what it really means is it evokes strong emotions or feelings that you relate to personally. It aligns with your values, beliefs, or experiences. It provides clarity or insight on a topic you care about. It inspires action or motivates you to change. It creates a sense of connection with the sender or the broader audience. It feels relevant and timely to your current situation or mindset.
So my goodness, that's a lot of things that goes into if something resonates with us. And it's a nice little check it off. Because I think sometimes we will feel passionate about something. We'll feel like something resonates with us. But it'll be here. It doesn't reach the heart. And then we have an incongruency. And what I mean by that is sometimes when we're talking about something that maybe we feel passionate about, there will be this little tiny thing that says, maybe I don't believe that, or I've done this so long that this is what I do. Because we get stuck in a pattern. And when we're in that pattern, our brain likes a pattern.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I think that we have to take a minute to really do a self-check, a self-inventory type of thing and say, why am I being so loud about this? Yeah. Am I trying to protect an idea, or is this something that I really feel in my heart?
And I think what's also another thing that I think that's really relevant is when we're having these conversations and when we're sometimes arguing a point, it's when you walk away, does it really matter that much to me? Why did I put the effort into it? Sometimes we continue the narrative that we've been doing for so long that we never stop to question the narrative. We don't stop to sit there and say, why am I passionate about this? Oh, well, I've always been passionate about this. And then we find out, well, my parents were passionate about it. So it's something but I really am not that passionate about it. It's sometimes those patterns, once again, that we get caught up in, but it's our ability to question, to have curiosity.
Well, even to question the things that I feel are at first, maybe I am defending something and I really have this emotional charge from it. But we don't step back from it for a minute and give ourselves that space to realize, wait a minute, maybe I need to question this. Maybe I need to break it down and ask myself, does that truly align with what I think? Or did I pick that up somewhere along the way and I started defending it?
Well, and I think too, sometimes what happens is even as we're on this growth journey, we're still defending something from my past self.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it may not resonate in the same way. So it's being able to question that. And I think also to ask yourself, why am I passionate about this? And sometimes people will have a passion for something, but they also don't explain where it comes from.
Yeah. And sometimes in your own explaining, then you kind of break things apart and realize maybe it's not so much that I'm passionate about it, I'm just emotional about it.
Yes, that's a really good point, because I think sometimes when people are emotional about something, they think they're passionate about it. And sometimes we're emotional about things because it might be a trigger to something else that creates this emotion. So then other people may even make the assumption that you're passionate about it. And it's not about passion at all. It's about, this triggered me, and this is why I'm having so much emotion around this current situation, or whatever that topic is. So it's very, very different.
And that requires a lot of introspect, because sometimes you don't realize that you're going off on this emotionally because of something that happened in your past. You haven't even related it. You haven't even really connected up that that is what triggered you to defend that so wholeheartedly, when really maybe you needed to take a step back and say, oh man, I got all emotional about this because this is what used to be done to me when I was younger. Or I feel like I got so emotional over it because, but you're not in that same situation anymore. So it doesn't apply today, but we don't realize it. We just carry that emotion forward.
Well, and I think the other thing that's really relevant too is that oftentimes what people are doing is the brain is in this incongruency sometimes with the heart.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to you about Western philosophies and stuff, is you have to be logical about this. There has to be logic. There has to be science. There has to be something behind something. No, sometimes our heart in our intuition is greater than that knowledge that we have, that logical knowledge that we have, or I think anyway.
Sometimes it has the better answer for us, but sometimes we're not willing to listen. We shut it down because we think there's no logical basis for it.
Exactly. So it's being able to identify those things and to know. So it's to challenge yourself. And I think that's what it is. On a growth journey, you're constantly challenging yourself and being curious about other things. It is not commonly known that the heart actually sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. So from here to here is less than from here to here. It's kind of fascinating. And that's from the HeartMath Institute. The HeartMath Institute has been conducting studies on this for over 30 years. So this isn't some fly by the seat of your pants,
random. We just thought it up and
pseudoscience. The intelligent heart. So this is many of the changes in bodily function that occur during the coherent state revolve around changes in the heart's pattern of activity. While the heart is certainly a remarkable pump, don't we all want to keep that going, don't we, huh? Interestingly, it is only relatively recent in the course of the human history, around the past 3 centuries. That's not a long time, people. Or so, that the heart's function has been defined by Western scientific thought as only that of pumping blood. So that was the belief that our heart just pumped blood. Historically, in almost every culture of the world, the heart was ascribed a far more spiritual, multifaceted role in the human system, being regarded as a source of wisdom, spiritual insight, thought, and emotion. Scientific research over the past several decades has begun to provide evidence that many of those long surviving associations may well be more than simply metaphorical. These developments have led science to once again to revise and expand its understanding of the heart and its role in the amazing organ. So once again, Western culture, we need science. Whereas when we look at Eastern culture and Eastern philosophies, they look more at the whole body. They're looking at the heart in a very different way.
The spiritual aspects of what our heart contributes. Like you were saying, our brain is always sending messages to the heart, but the heart actually sends messages to the brain if we can pause and listen. In the new field of neurocardiology, for example, scientists have discovered that the heart possesses its own intrinsic nervous system, a network of nerves so functionally sophisticated as to earn the description of a heart brain. Containing over 40,000 neurons, the little brain gives the heart the ability to independently sense, process information, make decisions, and even demonstrate a type of learning and memory. In essence, it appears that the heart is truly an intelligent system. Research has also revealed that the heart is a hormonal gland manufacturing and secreting numerous hormones and neurotransmitters that profoundly affect brain and body function. Among the hormones the heart produces is oxytocin, well known as the love or bonding hormone. Science has only begun to understand the effects of the electromagnetic fields produced by the heart, but there is evidence that the information contained in the heart's powerful field may play a vital synchronizing role in the human body, and that it may affect others around us as well. Research has also shown that the heart is a key component of the emotional system. Scientists now understand that the heart not only responds to emotion, but that the signals generated by its rhythmic activity actually play a major part in determining the quality of our emotional experience from moment to moment. As described next, these heart signals also profoundly impact perception and cognitive function by virtue of the heart's extensive communication network with the brain. Finally, rigorous electrophysiological studies conducted at the HeartMath Institute have indicated that the heart appears to play a key role in intuition. Although there is much yet to be understood, it appears that the age-old association of the heart with thought, feeling, and insight may indeed have a basis in science. I find this research really fascinating.
Oh, yeah. And I think because we've been taught so much in Western culture, go to the brain, go to the brain, go to the brain. And I think what happens is that we've created, instead of this synchronicity, we've created this not animosity, but this competitiveness almost between the brain and the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is, say, experiencing anxiety, if they would listen to the heart, the intuition tells them there's nothing happening. However, the brain is creating a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had my client, I said, well, when that's happening, he goes, no, you don't understand. I know it. But he's here.
Yeah.
His brain is sending that signal to him that this is happening. And I told him, I said, you have that fancy little watch. I said, use it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, it takes your pulse, doesn't it? He goes, well, yeah. Monitors your heart, doesn't it? Yeah. I said, well, next time you have that, I said, I want you to look at that and tell me what happens. He comes back and goes, oh my God. As soon as I saw that my heart was fine and my pulse was fine, I said, what your brain did was send another message. Oh, you're fine. But there was part of you that knew you were okay. And he goes, well, yeah. That's that intuition. That's that heart. That's that, your heart is that muscle that's telling you it's okay.
And we can build that muscle to be able to really listen to that, because you're right. The brain creates a false narrative in those situations when an anxiety attack hits. Trusting in the heart gives us information. Intuitively, our heart knows there's no danger, but the brain tries to take over. We've been taught to shut down the messages of the heart for logic.
You know, we've talked about this and the importance of our intuition. And over time, shutting down our intuition is also shutting down the heart. They work together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a relationship. And the thing is, this should be a complete relationship. There should be no disconnect between my brain and my heart. But in Western science, we have always gone to science and logic and that cognitive piece of it. And we've negated this whole other piece of people. And I think what we're seeing is this resurgence of people saying, whoa, wait a minute. My intuition, my learning about my spirituality, my connectedness is just as important. It's a relationship. And the more I know about those things, the more overall health that I have.
Yes.
And growth and everything.
And the more effective you can be in whether that be personally, professionally, any aspect of your life. When we start allowing ourselves to feel it here and listen to those messages of the heart, I think we expand our possibilities.
We let ego get in the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I jumped on a talk earlier today with Kristen Brown on Noon Vibe, and she was talking about forgiveness. She was talking about all these things. But part of the thing is that incongruency that we have, that we go to tit for tat, because I don't want to be responsible for what I truly, truly know I should be responsible for. And in order to do that, we go to this logical place of trying to deflect and do all of these things.
Or think this person did this and this and this, and this is why I'm reacting this way.
Yes, that's our logic.
Mm-hmm.
But if we paid attention to that heart piece, that intuition, that level down there, it would be telling you, yeah, I did mess up.
That's what
I should do. I should take responsibility and accountability. But the cognitive piece, that ego piece, those pieces, well, you did this. And we get into this, once again, tit for tat thing. And it's not helpful to anybody. Nobody grows if you stay in tit for tat. Nobody grows.
Exactly. And that part is huge. And you have to understand, it doesn't always feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're talking about taking accountability for something you said or did, and it doesn't always feel good.
No.
But that's part of that growth.
And we have to understand, all of us will be wrong and all of us will be right.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us are making choices. And sometimes we make choices based on faulty logic. Sometimes we make choices based on faulty emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They're both relevant. But the thing is that when we sit back and once again we question, why did I feel so passionate or feel like that really resonated with me? And sometimes the reason why is my ego, or I don't want to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about passion for the topic. It's about passion for not being wrong or feeding my ego.
Yeah. And you have to discern which it is to have that interpersonal growth and to have meaningful change in your life.
And you're going to know, because if you do it based on that interpersonal growth and you just go up and say, you know what, I don't even know why I did that. It's not even wrong. I could have done it differently. People don't like the word wrong or whatever. Then use the words that are going to help you to get through that.
Mm-hmm.
I should have said that differently. And I'm sorry. Sometimes we're not doing that once again because I'm passionate about my stance and you didn't listen or all this and that. Once again, that's about right or wrong. And that's nowhere that we're going to have that growth that we need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being okay with being wrong. And wrong, it's not even wrong. It's be okay that we have differing opinions. Be okay that somebody has more knowledge than you or whatever it is. It's not a competition.
Right. Or that their experiences are completely different and therefore their perspective will be completely different.
Yes. And sometimes ask the questions. Create a dialogue.
And the more that you do this within yourself, you're not even going to get into those places where that it's tit for tat, or you're not even going to go that far because you're not going to feel there's not the necessity to have the argument to defend anything.
And part of the thing is when you see somebody where you've stepped away and you've kind of stopped the conversation, but they're still pushing, then that to me is they're like, if something truly is in my heart and truly is my passion and I resonate, I simply present it. And then it's up to you to do with whatever you want with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sitting there trying to shove it down your throat, then that's now about me. And I have to question, why is it so important for me for Christy to agree with my view or whatever that is? That's not passion. That's not something that resonates with you. That's when you really have to question, because it shouldn't matter. All that would matter is what you feel resonates truly in your heart. And when something resonates in our heart and it's truly something we have passion for, it's not about being aggressive. It's not about yelling. It's not. It really is just expressing yourself. And some people may then question, well, you don't seem very passionate about that, because they're expecting, we've created this idea that if I have a passion, I have to escalate to this level to show the degree of passion. No. Sometimes what's very passionate for us can sometimes be very quiet.
Mm-hmm. And once you've planted the seed, understand that people are at different places in their life and they've had different experiences, and you've already put it out there. Maybe one day they'll see it from a different light.
So if you are having that where you're getting all wound up and you feel like the person's not listening, then my thing is pause and listen to yourself. That's how we start to really break that apart and look at, why is this so important for me? Why am I doing this? Why am I having this strong emotion? Where does this come from? And sometimes, remember, those patterns are great. They're very embedded in us. And especially if we're looking at generational patterns, sometimes what you're doing is you're regurgitating what those other generations have done because it's something you've heard so much that you think it's yours. And oftentimes it's not. And it's not our responsibility. We don't have to keep certain generational patterns alive. We can change them, modify them, sometimes get rid of some of them.
Exactly.
We don't have to keep them.
There's a quote: do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Maya Angelou.
And Maya Angelou knew things.
She's a wise woman.
She, really, seriously, when you look at that, and even that thing of taking on, if you have not read the book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, you should read it. Because even that, an idea created something, and she lived out this narrative, even though it really wasn't her narrative. But how much of our time we lose to these narratives that we think that we're passionate about or that really resonate with us. And when we let them go, there's this freeing. There's this whole thing lifts off of us.
Well, and sometimes you realize how long you've been defending somebody else's stance. Somebody's been over here putting this in your head, and you've just defended it to the hilt.
Things that we are passionate about. I feel like we're really passionate about what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're passionate about it. We talk about it often. We do a lot of research on it. We learn as much as we can on these topics that are important to us. That's when you know something really resonates with you, is when you want to learn more about it. And you're not repeating the same thing over and over again. You're investing in it. You're investing in that thing that resonates with you.
And you're willing to look at maybe stuff you've never even entertained before. There's research happening all over the place that's helping us to deepen our understanding of the universe and our place in it.
And what I find interesting is that, we talk about the hard science, the soft science, and the pseudoscience. I love all these labels we put on it, because if we're not doing it in this fashion, then it's not really science. The thing is we can do science in many, many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
For so many years, psychology has been like a pseudoscience. It's not real science. Even though in psychology, we've really been looking at neuroscience. We've really been looking at what is the brain doing.
Yeah.
And we don't even just look at what is the brain doing. We have a science within psychology that looks at what are the things that you're eating? Where are these neurotransmitters being? We talk about this. We put all this stuff into the brain, but let's take serotonin. Everybody thinks it's here. It's not even made here. It is made in your gut. So your gut and your brain now have a relationship. You take care of your gut health, and guess what? Your serotonin gets help. This is the thing. We are one entity. But yet, when we continue to try to dismiss one science over the other science, we're not learning. And I think that's where that challenge comes. If you think it's a pseudoscience or a soft science, whatever science you want to call it, take a moment and explore it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things drives me crazy is when somebody says, I believe in this and whatever it is, and maybe it's something that maybe you might think is quirky or pseudo or whatever you want to call it, and the person just shuts them down. What difference does it make? I don't have to defend my science or my ideas to somebody else. I can just listen to them.
Be able to listen to somebody else's experience and not bring your beliefs into it and say, this can't be happening because
then what I am doing is I am challenging those narratives.
Mhm.
I'm challenging myself to really sit there and pause and say, listening with this. Does that person, that person feels authentic?
Mm.
What they're saying sounds authentic. It feels authentic. But my brain goes, well, that ain't true.
And who
So
is this person? They don't have no credentials behind their name.
I know. If you don't have those letters behind your name, you mean nothing. That's how they, I don't get it. When I tell people initials behind a name do not make them more relevant, it just means that they actually looked and had passion for something and learned about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. You have passion and you learn. And as I said, and I hope that this comes across to our listeners, how passionate we are about this, about finding that light. That light is in your heart center. It is not up here. Our light is here. It is whatever you want to call it. It is our light.
Mhm.
And it is at our heart. It is love.
This is about aligning our actions to the person that we are aspiring to be. In other words, our integrity. Your moral compass isn't just a gut feeling, it's a toolkit for integrity. While social constructs often blur the lines, true alignment comes from auditing inherited beliefs against personal empathy. Focus on your why to find your way.
And I think that's really important. And I feel like it's so hard to know what's truth anymore. And what I mean by that is AI can generate things. People will tell you something that's not true that you know is true, but they're very stuck on no, you're lying. That's fake. This is real. It's all of this narrative. And so I think it's creating a lot of confusion in people. But I think if you kind of shut that out and go to that heart center,
Mhm.
it's going to guide you. It's going to tell you, does that make sense? Does it resonate with me?
Mhm.
Is it resonating here? Not here, here. Am I truly feeling it? Is it resonating? Is it making sense? Those are the things. Because in that heart center, we're going to have empathy, compassion, all of those things that help in that total connectedness of not only connect me, but that connectedness I have to everybody else.
Exactly. Understanding why something resonates within us gives us more information about our inner knowing, a better understanding of the depths of our intuition, its usefulness, where it comes from, and why it should be recognized as our deeper connection to a higher state of consciousness and our oneness with all of creation.
Exactly. I think we have to start bridging these two,
Yes.
the heart and the brain, in understanding that both of them are working for us, but we're not utilizing that. We're having them incongruent. We're having this internal, you're right, I'm right, you're wrong, all of these things, because that's happening internally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we question things. That's why we are unsure of things. And that's happening on that level. So I think that in order to make that alignment, we have to truly be willing to look internally and to be brutally honest with ourselves. And sometimes that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm. And if your head and your heart are at odds, why?
And the other thing is even though it's hard, I will tell you this, when you are brutally honest and you continue to have that growth and development in making yourself a whole person, not this fragmented thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how everything comes into alignment. You have decreases in anxiety, increases in mood stability, better physical health, healthier relationships. But the most important thing, you start to have a really healthy relationship with you and you learn to trust yourself. This is the thing. There are many entities out there who do not want you to trust yourself.
Yeah. Because they can manipulate easier.
they're not going to benefit off you in that fashion.
Mhm.
You're going to learn to do things that are about benefiting you in a healthy way and in a way that is that connectedness that we have. Because if you build yourself up and you become healthy and you help in that way, once again, find your light, spin your light, and you can help the next person and the next person, then what we will find is we will have independent thinking people. We will have people who are truly coming from that heart center. And it'll be about not only themselves, but about humanity.
It's a ripple effect, people.
So that be that pebble in the pond. Start the ripple effect. Understand you are your greatest investment.
Yep.
But we're not being taught that. We're being taught other things are more about invest in a job, in school, in money, in all of these things, retirement, all these things.
All external focus.
Because that's making somebody else something, but it's depleting you. So learn to invest in you. Take that time. Nurture yourself. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. That is the most important thing. Challenge yourself. Listen to other people's ideas, whether it's about religion or spirituality or politics or, this versus that. It doesn't matter what it is, science versus non-science. It doesn't matter. But we broaden our abilities for growth when we have the capability, I think, of listening to other people.
Yep. For sure. Hopefully you've heard something that you like today. And if you do, go to our website, spinningthelightpodcast.com. Subscribe and you will get an email whenever we post a new episode. We're trying to build a community and would love to have you be a part of that. You can email us on there and we would really appreciate it. We love your feedback. We also have YouTube Worlds of Wonder
By spinning
the light. That's where our inner world meets the outer world and just our experience of the world. And so we would love for you to subscribe on there. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I am on the app Noom Vibe. It's a free app, but it goes along with everything we do here. It really is about having a community. It's a huge community, very huge community.
And those are live talks. You are welcome to jump on there and comment about the topics and
share your wisdom, share your stories. It's a really great app and we appreciate it. And when Christy said about building a community, if you listen to us and you like what you're hearing, recommend us to your family and friends, and sometimes even to your enemies because they need growth too. I'll make a list.
There you go.
But no, seriously, help us build this community. We cannot do it on our own.
Yeah.
So, once again, hope that you found something useful in this. And if you did, share that with us. If you didn't, share that with us too. We're good with everything. Anyway, we want to thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back next week. And hopefully it'll be a topic that resonates with you as we hope this one does.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.